Here's a big scrum for it on the far boards. Bringing it back around is Albert Lee. And they're now into neutral ice. And a quick line change made by the Raiders, and the Raiders poke check it away. And back in the final, or in the far corner there, and a shot put on net, no good. And that was stopped by the starting goaltender, Macy Mueller.
Hey, Eric, real quick. We actually just went live.
Oh.
So can you just recap everything that just happened?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that, folks. We are now officially live here on Northfield Live, and I'm Eric Thomas. We have Cass on the color tonight, Daniel in the producer chair, Alejandro in the camera position, and we're here at the bar known as Northfield Ice Arena, where the visiting team, the 9-1 overall Albert Lee Tigers, are coming to town, and your Northfield Raiders are 6-4, 5-1 atop the Big Nine, and their one loss came just a week ago to this Albert Lee team in overtime, and we have our coaches interview. We'll play that in between periods here, and we want to thank LMR Media for sponsoring tonight's event, and the starting lineups, we'll get to that here in just a sec, but it's been just a little slow back and forth to start this game off, as we had a puck drop on the Northfield side of the ice after a play stoppage, and now Albert Lee bringing it down to the Northfield zone. Just under 15 minutes left to go here in this first period. Northfield battling for it in the Albert Lee zone. Able to knock it back down behind the Albert Lee net. And Northfield bringing it back the other way. They're going to wave off the icing. And picking it up behind the net is Erickson for the Raiders. She gets into a little battle for it on the far boards there. And Raiders able to stop it and get it back out into the Albert Lee zone. 14:45 left to go here in this first period. Northfield just doing a great job keeping it out of their zone tonight. Last game that they took on against this Albert Lee team was last week, like I mentioned. It was an overtime loss, the first one in 20 years between these two teams. Now Albert Lee getting it out in front. A shot put on. That gets blocked. Now another shot from the blue line and a one-time attempt in that corner down there. Now out in front. Northfield trying to clear it out. They get a handle on it, bringing it back around their own net. And a shot put on by Albert Lee. That goes wide. It gets picked up on the far boards by Northfield. They try to knock it out, but keeping it into the Northfield zone. That was Hannah Austinson. And now Northfield trying to clear it out once again, but bringing it back up is number 15, Kira Erickson for Albert Lee. And now with the puck are the Tigers trying to deke it in and out of the defense, but a puck going all the way down, and they're going to call icing. And once again, we do want to thank our sponsor here this evening, LMR Media. Or excuse me, that's the coach's interview. Excuse me. But tonight's game and the starting lineups, they are brought to you by Ritchie Eye Clinic. You're interested in improving your vision, scheduling a free consultation for Ritchie Eye Clinic is a great way to go. And for the starting lineups, let's take a look at those really quick. Haley Austinson, Hannah Austinson, Morgan Goskin, and Olivia Ellsworth, and Mika Sykos for the offense and the defense, and Jada Moyer for the goaltender for tonight for Albert Lee. For Northfield, Reese Peruka, Taylor Crone, Emma Peruka, and Mia Miller and Olivia Rasmussen round out the front five, and Macy Mueller is in the net. And we have another stoppage of play, and there's going to be a penalty coming up here for the Albert Lee Tigers, and they're going to bring it all the way down to the other end of the ice.
Power play is looking pretty strong this year by Northfield, too. They're at 20%, but Albert Lee PK is 96%.
Yep, and under 13 minutes to go here, and it looks like number 18 for the Tigers, that's Shelby Evans. She's going to be sitting here. Let's take a listen. I think that was 2 minutes for tripping, if I heard that right. So Northfield will be on a power play for 2 minutes here. Pass across the ice, shot put on net by number 16. That was Emma Peruka, but that gets glove saved by the netminder. Now we're in the near corner here. A little scrum happening for it in the near corner, but hard to say who's coming on top on that one. Now Northfield with it, cross ice pass to none other than Mia Miller. Round the net, shot put on, and a Tiger loses their stick. Northfield with the puck out at center ice. Now with the puck are the Northfield Raiders, and that could have been a trip. I don't know. But the Tigers, they try to clear it out. They're not going to wave on icing. So play continues on. 40 seconds left to go in the power play. 11:36 left to go in this first period. Bouncing it off the boards are the Raiders. Wrapping around the net, looking for help, and she's got 3 fresh pairs of legs coming out to help her out. That's Reese Peruka with it. She goes coast to coast and around the world, and where she stops, nobody knows. Mia Miller takes a shot at it. Nobody there. Now bringing it back the other way is a loose puck. Chasing after it is Northfield and Albert Lee. Northfield and Albert Lee with it back behind the Northfield net. Shot put on net, and a goal by number 7, Haley Austinson for Albert Lee at 11:04 on the clock. Went right into that 5-hole position.
That was a great chase down there on the penalty kill.
So now your scoreboard brought to you this evening by Heritage Bank, locally owned and managed. Heritage Bank really is a community bank at its best. We live and work in the community we serve. It is now 1-0 in favor of Albert Lee.
Yeah, that was an absolutely just a great play, great power play, or great penalty kill forecheck, getting that puck to the front of the net, quick shot, right in the 5-hole. 1-0 here, Albert Lee.
Now with the puck back behind the Albert Lee net, the Northfield net, is Albert Lee. Northfield trying their best to get the puck cleared out of their zone. Puck wrapping around the back of the net there. Now bringing it up is Northfield. Lindsay Erickson trying to get it down into the zone for Northfield to go on the attack. But now Albert Lee with the puck once again. They go right, left, and lose control of it. Olivia Rasmussen with the puck. Back behind her own net, trying to clear it out on a breakout play. 10:21 left to go here in this first period. On your Heritage Bank scoreboard update, it's 1-0 in favor of Albert Lee. Shot put on from the blue line. Oh! And Macy Mueller tried to glove it, and it almost went in. It almost dribbled into the back of the net. That would have been a phenomenal goal for Albert Lee. And as Northfield tries to clear it out, they get it up into the bench. But do want to say a big shout out to our sponsor for tonight, Northfield Insurance Agency. Thank you to them for sponsoring tonight's game. Able to help us go and do all these sorts of games here tonight. Now puck drop down in the Northfield zone. Bringing it back the other way is Taylor Crone, one of the starters for tonight. She loses control of it, picked up by Albert Lee. Albert Lee bringing it back the other way, trying to deke in and out of the defense. That was number 20, Morgan Goskin. 9.5 minutes left to go here in this first period. Northfield trails 1-0 on your Heritage Bank scoreboard. And a shot put on the net by the defense from the blue line. That goes back behind the net. Now Northfield with it. Cross ice pass gets stopped by the defense, and Northfield needs to clear out, and that they do. Now Albert Lee picks it up back behind their own net with 9 minutes left to go here in this first period. Albert Lee trying to dump it in, and there's going to be a late icing call. They're going to bring it down to the Albert Lee zone.
I mean, so far this game, it's pretty back and forth, pretty even. Shots would say almost otherwise. Albert Lee has 3 shots on Macy Mueller. Raiders only have 1 shot, but I mean, back and forth, they're pretty even play, I'd say.
Yeah. Now the puck drawn, won by Northfield. A shot put on from the blue line by, that was number 10, Olivia Rasmussen. A big scrum for it right in front of the Albert Lee bench. Gets picked up by Northfield. And on the near side here, in a check into the boards put on by Albert Lee, but it gets stopped from going too far into the zone by Northfield. And there's going to be I don't know why the ref had his hand up like that, but I thought it was going to be an ice. But now they're going to call an icing, I think. Or nope. Knocking it back behind the net is Olivia Rasmussen. Albert Lee trying to keep it out of their zone and into the Northfield zone. Now the puck down in the Albert Lee zone. It's picked up by the defense. It's brought up by number 14. That is Olivia Ellsworth, one of the starting defenders for Albert Lee, as they did a dump and change. Albert Lee tried to capitalize it, but Northfield with it. Erickson getting shoved off the puck. 7:45 left to go here in this first period. And now Albert Lee with it, back behind their own net. Bringing it back up the ice. And they almost were called offsides, but now with the puck and a shot, that was number 7, Haley Austinson. She had that first goal for Albert Lee. Bringing it back up the ice is Mia Miller. She goes coast to coast. She gets hit and goes down, but regains control of the puck. Now the puck back behind the Albert Lee net. On the far boards, trying to keep it in on the far side. There's Olivia Rasmussen, but Albert Lee bringing it back the other way. Trying to deke it around the offense, or the defense there was Hannah Austinson. And a little scrum for it, and a one-time shot goes into traffic, and it gets shot wide. Northfield trying their best to get it out of their zone and keep it out. Bringing it back up is Crone for the Northfield Raiders, and a one-time tip. Almost went in. Albert Lee bringing it back. And now with the puck going left, right, and a backhanded shot and in. Haley Austinson as she went coast to coast.
Let's check out this replay here. Brought to you by Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. That was a great play.
That was.
Great rush. Great deke at the end there. We'll see how that kind of started. Started with that great diving tip by Northfield. Turned around, there was a little bit of a scrum, then a breakout, clean breakout play. And then just a foot race. Great backhand, great placement. And Albert Lee is up 2-0.
And now with the puck is Albert Lee off the draw. And now picking it up on the near boards is Albert Lee, and just under 6 minutes left to go here in this first period. And Northfield trying to keep it in, but Albert Lee brings it back. And here comes Albert Lee on the pass, and a shot that goes high. Wow, that would have been pretty impressive. Back-to-back goals there. And now Albert Lee trying to knock it back in, and they're on a 4-on-1 disadvantage in the Northfield zone. And there's going to be a delayed penalty coming up, roughing on Northfield.
There was a little bit of a collision here on the blue line. Looked like the Albert Lee player was trying to come out of the zone. Northfield player kind of backed into her, maybe a little bit on purpose.
Possibly.
Possibly.
And the one person that Northfield doesn't really want to have in the box right now is who is in the box, and that's Mia Miller. She's going to sit for 2 minutes. So now Albert Lee with the puck on the power play. Getting it down low from the blue line. They switch out. Now in the near corner is Albert Lee. Cross ice pass to the point. Interference, excuse me, not roughing. But no matter, under 5 minutes left to go here, a minute and a half left to go in her penalty. Northfield bringing it back out and trying to dump it out, but the ref got in the way, and Albert Lee dumps it back behind the net, and it goes back and down the ice, and Albert Lee's going to touch up. 4.5 minutes left to go here. Out to the cherry picker, none other than Haley Austinson, who's got 2 points on the night so far. 1 minute left to go in the penalty to Miller. And a shot put on. That was a hard one. That went right into traffic. Now Albert Lee with the puck at neutral ice. Northfield trying to dump it in, and chasing after it is number 18. That is Emily Beham. And the netminder for Albert Lee, Jada Moyer, she was able to dive on top of it and stop the play. We're going to have a puck drop coming up here on the glove side.
So we noted before, power play for Northfield, 20%. Power play for Albert Lee, 21.1%. So pretty even.
Yeah.
PK, same kind of thing. Northfield, 91%. Albert Lee, 96%. So two very strong special teams. I think that's what it's going to come down to here.
I think so, too. And we'll hear this later in the coach's interview, but the coach said that the last time that these two teams fought each other, Northfield was plagued by a lot of penalties, so that's what they've been kind of in the mindset on, of just trying to make sure to alleviate some of that penalty pressure coming towards them. But we'll hear more about that in the interview here.
For sure. I mean, if you give either of these teams, both strong teams, both pretty deep teams, they've got a couple lines that can play, you don't want to give either of them the opportunity to have one extra person on the ice.
Now with the puck out in front, shot put on from the point. 3 seconds left to go in the Miller penalty. And she rejoins the bench, and out comes her sub. With 3:15 left to go here in this first period, Northfield needs to keep it out of their zone unless they want another goal by Albert Lee. And a shot put on from the blue line. That goes just to the right of the net. I didn't want to say wide because it wasn't that wide. 3 minutes left to go here in this first period. And now the shot put on and glove saved by Mueller.
Now looking at both teams here. Okay, so both teams are led in scoring by number 21.
Yeah.
Northfield, Mia Miller. Albert Lee, Mika Sekos. They are both going to Minnesota State Mankato. Both going to be Mavericks someday. Do you think they know that? Do you think they know each other off the ice and they probably talk about this? And this might be one of the games that they look forward to I would.
Probably. They're probably Facebook friends.
Are the kids even on Facebook anymore?
I don't know. 2.5 minutes left to go here in this first period, and a shot that definitely goes wide, just a bit outside, to quote Bob Euchre. And now Northfield trying to get a handle on it. They have a little bit of miscommunication. Albert Lee with it on the near boards. They knock it around the back of the Northfield net. And picking it up is Albert Lee out in front. Shot put on. Nobody home. Albert Lee with the puck. Goes around the back of the net. 2 minutes and 8 seconds left to go here in this first period. On the Heritage Bank scoreboard, it's 2-0 in favor of Albert Lee. And Albert Lee fighting for it in the near boards. And short pass put on, and a stick save by Mueller. Now Albert Lee fighting for it as well as Northfield in that far corner. Picked up by Northfield. And they dump it in, and no ice coming up because it was touched up by Albert Lee. 90 seconds left to go in this first period. Stopped just inside the zone by the Raiders. Raiders out in front, and pass intercepted by Albert Lee. And the puck going all the way down to the Northfield zone, picked up by Miller. Out to Peruka at the blue line. Peruka getting slashed on the way down. Don't know how that was not a penalty. I think that might be now. Yep. They're going to call
a check.
Oh.
Body check.
Interesting.
I mean, a penalty is a penalty, especially when you have the other 21, Albert Lee 21, top player on their team now.
She's going to go take 2 minutes. Psychos is going to the box for 2 minutes. Now just 66 seconds left to go here in this first period. Peruka with it at the blue line. Short pass off to the other Peruka. Shot put in. Nobody there. Into the screen. Peruka. Cross-ice pass over to Miller. Miller taking it across the blue line. Hands it off. No, actually she hangs on to it. Shot out in front. Peruka. Nobody there. Now Albert Lee trying to clear the puck. And they do it. They got a cherry picker. Here comes the cherry picker from Albert Lee. And a slash put on. Nobody there. And Mueller. Oh, she could have dove right on top of that one. 30 seconds left to go here in this first period. Miller with it, going coast to coast. And around the world in 80 days, wrapping around the back of the net. Miller handing it off. Cross-ice pass, that gets picked up, and they dump it out. Albert Lee chasing after it, so does Miller. And with 8 seconds left, that will wrap up the first period here at the barn known as the Northfield Ice Arena. On the Heritage Bank scoreboard, it is 2-0. We'll be right back after these words. We'll have a look at the recap of the first period, and we'll also have our coaches interview that we had with our girls head coach, or assistant head coach, I should say, Jeff LaPanta. That's coming up right after this on Northfield Live.
Northfield Insurance offers more than just home and auto. They offer business insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and bonds as well. They have a combined 147 years of experience across 6 employees to make sure that you are getting the best possible insurance for your exact needs. Not only will they protect what's yours, they'll make sure that you're cared for like family. Find out how you can get the right insurance for you at nfldins.com or by calling 507-645-8861. Northfield Insurance Agency. They've got you covered.
Planning for retirement can seem overwhelming. That's why Jake and Brent at Comprehensive Wealth Solutions in Faribault develop Financial GPS, a goals-based planning solution to help you reach your financial aspirations. Working with a financial advisor and having a written plan is proven to provide confidence in retirement goals. The team at CWS guides you in making decisions and works with you to prepare a written plan. Visit cwsfbo.com to start your journey to retiring with confidence. CWS, providing big-time advice the small-town way.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie Eye and LASIK. Like many of you, I recently had cataract surgery, and I am loving it. My vision has never been better. Driving at night is fun again, and I wake up in the morning and see. And now you're wondering, which doctor did I choose? Short answer is both. Dr. Miller fixed one eye, and Dr. Reinsbach operated on the other. They are both great people and fabulous surgeons. I trust them implicitly, and you can too, but just pick one.
Ritchie Eye and LASIK in Faribault, your leader in advanced cataract surgery.
No matter what business you're in, it's hard to find someone to keep your business clean. ServiceMaster by Ayatt's janitorial services cover everything from floor care and carpet cleaning to general cleaning, windows, and power washing. When you're in need of janitorial cleaning services, demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster by Ayatt today.
Demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster.
This is Barb from Professional Dental Group, letting you know that the doctors and staff of Professional Dental Group are proud to call themselves Northfield Raiders sports fans. Whether scheduling for an implant, mouthguard, or general visit, we look forward to providing you with the same exceptional care that Professional Dental Group has delivered for over 45 years. So on behalf of Dr. Becky Johnson, Dr. John Nowak, Dr. Brian Cravey, Dr. Tyler Yonke, and Dr. Mallory Peterson, go Raiders!
Hi, I'm Adam Steffel, president of NCC Builders. Is your kitchen feeling cramped or your bathroom outdated? Maybe your basement is just wasted space. With the holidays around the corner, imagine hosting in a home you're truly comfortable in and proud of. At NCC Builders, we're known for our quality craftsmanship and attention to detail. Whether it's upgrading your kitchen, creating a spa-like bathroom, or converting your basement into functional living space, we're here to bring your vision to life. Let's get your home ready for the holidays. Visit nccbuilders.com.
Borrowing money is a big deal, and Community Resource Bank is ready to help. When you're buying a car, purchasing a home, or fixing up your existing home, Community Resource Bank has answers for all your loan and mortgage questions. As an integral part of Northfield, Cannon Falls, and Roseville communities, Community Resource Bank offers online solutions for business, residential, investment, and other lending accounts. Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Heritage Dental Care in Northfield is a general dental clinic specializing in a variety of dental procedures and services. New patients and emergencies are welcomed 5 days a week. Heritage Dental Care is a proud supporter of Northfield Athletics and wish all of our athletes the best of luck this season. Make an appointment today with Dr. David Bress, Dr. David Buck, or Dr. Michael Thompson. Go Raiders!
And welcome back to Northfield Live, where on the Heritage Bank scoreboard, your Northfield Raiders, they are trailing by a score of 2-0 to the visiting team from Albert Lea, the Tigers. And, you know, just the way that the Tigers have been playing tonight, they are clearly a little bit more well-rested, and they have a little bit of an edge on the Raiders tonight because the last time that these two teams saw each other was in overtime, and Albert Lea won that by a score of 4-3. So you got to wonder if there's maybe a little bit of that hanging on in the back of the minds of some of these girls here tonight on the Northfield Raiders.
I mean, I think between that, but also knowing that this game is pretty important for the end of the season. I mean, you look at the Big Nine right now. These two teams are towards the top.
Yeah.
Then you've got sections. I mean, that's a big thing at the end of the year, too, because if you get that by that first game, you get an extra little bit of rest.
Right.
So I think both of these teams kind of feel that pressure right now. Albert Lea is taking advantage of that, using it to their advantage. I mean, they have a penalty kill or a shorthanded goal. That's a big momentum starter for the team. And then they had that other beautiful goal.
Right.
Off of a breakout, great breakout, little weave through some traffic, and then they scored there too. So,
right. So let's talk a little bit about those goals here. That first one came at 5:56 from Albert Lea. They were, like you mentioned, Cassandra, on a shorthanded goal or on a shorthanded situation. They had a player in the box. I believe it was for tripping or something like that, and they got the puck from number 17, Araya Hansen. She got the puck over to Haley Austinson, and she was able to put that puck right where it needed to go. That was in the back of the net on a shorthanded goal. And then just about 5-ish minutes later at 10:43, Albert Lea once again got that puck off of a really just tough break situation for the Northfield Raiders. They had the puck off of a tip from their own side of things, and they got Albert Lea was able to pick up the puck once again. That was Mika Psycho. She got it once again to Haley Austinson, and Haley Austinson, like you said, just weaved in and out. She made a perfect little beeline for the net and put a backhanded goal right into the back of the net to get it up to 2-0. So that is a look at our first period thus far. And we do, before we want to go any further, we want to thank our sponsor once again here for tonight. The 2024-25 season is sponsored by Northfield Insurance Agency. For personalized insurance solutions and a trusted partner, contact Northfield Insurance Agency today. Thank you to NIA for supporting Raider Girls Hockey on Northfield Live. Now we're going to hear our pre-game coaches interview with our assistant head coach, Jeff LaPanta, and that is sponsored this evening by LMR Media, providing local marketing and advertising that delivers results. Let us help your local business. Visit lmrmedia.org for more information. And we're back on Northfield Live with Coach Jeff LaPanta. And Coach, how are the girls coming into this evening after that really impressive win last week against Winona? The final score there was 7-2.
Yeah, I think we're really excited. Really, we're focusing on what happened prior to that Winona game, which was our first loss to Albert Lea in about 20 years, I guess it was brought to my attention. Yeah. We didn't have our best day, so the emphasis has been on redemption tonight and playing a lot better than we did down there in Albert Lea. Really, it was about stick discipline. We ended up in the box 10 times. As a coach, you can look at some of those and be a little disappointed with the officiating, but really it's on us to control our sticks. We had too many stick infractions, too many interference penalties, things where we're not moving our feet, playing downhill, supporting pucks, and we just got to play differently tonight. We got to play downhill, and we got to play with discipline.
All right, very good. And I think last time you and I spoke, you were focusing a little bit on that penalty distribution, so to speak? Like, you were trying not to have so many penalties. Were you working on that in practice between the game against Winona and the game tonight against Albert Lee?
Well, it's just more of a mindset than anything. Again, it's about moving your feet. When you're engaging players, the stick's got to be on the ice. It's a stick, body, then puck. We can't be reaching for pucks, getting our sticks in unfortunate spots where we're going to draw hooks, slashes, strips, things like that. So it's about us being more disciplined with our puck pressure, especially along the walls, and be in good position defensively so we're not having to take these silly penalties.
All right, very good. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about that overtime loss to Albert Lee, just a little bit more. First time in 20 years that you've lost to a team in overtime. What were you looking at in that game, and what are you kind of hoping to take away from that game and bring it into tonight on the offense and on the defensive side of the puck?
Yeah, number one, we just got to match their intensity. We've had a target on our back when we play Albert Lee for a long time. They have a good team. They're a top 10 Class A team. They have been in section finals and been to state tournaments in the last few years. So they have their eyes on the prize, which is Dodge County at the end of their year in Section 1A, and they also have their eyes on the conference, and it means a lot to them. So we were not ready to match their intensity, I don't think, in the first period. We have to be ready when the puck drops tonight in our own barn.
All right, very good. And just looking at your schedule going forward here, it looks like going into the meat and potatoes of the season, you're going to have either very little or no time for practice coming up here in the next couple of weeks. But you guys had at least 4 days between the last game and tonight. What were kind of some of the things that you were working on in practice to get ready for Albert Lee tonight?
Like we talked about, playing downhill, using the wall to our advantage, chipping and running into space, not always having to try to be pretty and be tape to tape and hanging on to pucks too long, and just moving it forward, getting up in lanes and all 5 bodies moving. We got to be more aggressive in our own zone. They're very strong on the body, very strong on the stick. We got to just clear our zone. Sometimes it's not pretty, but just get it out and play from there.
And kind of like what Herb Brooks used to say to the boys in the 80 Olympics, play your game.
Play your game. We know what our style should be, and we got away from that a little bit last time. We let one of their best players kind of dictate to us some things too. We need to take her away tonight.
All right, very good. And as always, overall health of the team, everybody's still pretty healthy?
Yeah, we're doing really well right now, so we're very fortunate going into, like you say, a busy time of the year. We've got 3 games here this week, all good opponents, so we'll finish Saturday night up in Rosemount against a top 10 AA team. It was represented their section, I believe, 2 of the last 3 years, so that would be a heck of an opponent for us. And then we go right into our Christmas tournament with 3 games in 3 days right after Christmas, so we got to be ready.
All right, very good. Well, that's Coach Jeff LaPanta. And Coach, good luck tonight. We'll talk with you a little bit later.
Appreciate your time.
That was Coach Jeff LaPanta on Northfield Live. We'll be back right after this.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
Thomas Gardens in Faribault is set to get you ready for the holidays. Choose a porch pot and fill it up with their great selection of greens, birch, and spruce tops. Grab a wreath for your front door to greet your guests. For your dinner table, they have squash, honey, syrup, and wild rice. And if you're heading out of town and need a gift, they have local products arranged in baskets to share with your hosts. Thomas Gardens and Nursery, conveniently located along Highway 20 between Faribault and Northfield. Thomas Gardens, here to get you ready for the holidays.
Remodeling your home is a way to breathe new life into your house, and the process can be made easy with Schmidt Homes. Their team has extensive experience in partial and total home renovations, meaning your home will be completed quickly and to your standards, allowing you to enjoy your newly renovated home with peace of mind. When you're ready to start your next project, be sure to check out Schmidt Homes' beautiful and regularly updated showroom for inspiration. Don't wait to start building your dream home. Learn more at schmidthomes.com.
Northfield Retirement Community is proud to introduce Enhanced Care Assisted Living. In this recently expanded area of our campus, we have increased daily licensed nursing coverage, making it possible to provide a higher level of clinical care and monitoring to those in need of additional support. This enhanced model of care provides more choices, allowing residents to age where they are. Contact Northfield Retirement Community for more information at northfieldretirement.org. Northfield Retirement Community, innovation, choice, tradition.
Raider Automotive is a full-service repair shop, collision center, and the only AAA authorized towing facility in Northfield. That means if you are in a minor or major collision this winter, or a deer finds your vehicle, Raider Auto can handle it all. We work with all major insurance companies to handle your vehicle from the tow to completing all your vehicle's repairs. Raider Auto on Highway 3 South in Northfield, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Or find us at RaiderAutomotive.net. Go Raiders!
What is your dream living location? Full service condo building? Low maintenance house? House on a lake? Lots of acreage? There are so many options. To start the search for your ideal location, contact one of our local and relentless agents at Century 21 Atwood and Professional Pride Group today, or visit our website at c21atwood.com. Century 21 Atwood and Professional Pride Group. We're unstoppable together.
At Hometown Credit Union, we are proudly celebrating our 50-year anniversary. What originally started with little more than a ledger book and a cash box, Hometown is now a not-for-profit financial institution that serves the needs of over 23,000 people. We offer all the products and services you expect, while also being personal enough to truly partner with our members through all of life's journeys. Join us at www.hometowncu.coop and see why the Hometown Credit Union can be your trusted partner for financial success.
Northfield Insurance offers more than just home and auto. They offer business insurance, health insurance, life insurance, and bonds as well. They have a combined 147 years of experience across 6 employees to make sure that you are getting the best possible insurance for your exact needs. Not only will they protect what's yours, they'll make sure that you're cared for like family. Find out how you can get the right insurance for you at nfldins.com or by calling 507-645-8861. Northfield Insurance Agency. They've got you covered.
And welcome back to Northfield Live. And the puck was won by Northfield, and they are down in the Albert Lee zone. Just under the start of the second period here. 27 seconds left to go in the power play for Northfield. And Northfield with the puck, trying to cross-ice pass, and now with the puck is Miller. They get it out, shot put on, and that goes wide. And you can just hear that audible groan from everybody in attendance here tonight. They all thought that was going in. Now Albert Lee with the puck. Bringing it back up into the Northfield zone. Cross-ice pass is over to Miller, trying to find something to do with it. And picking up the cherry picker, but it gets picked off by Albert Lee. Now we're at full strength for both sides here. And now Peruka, excuse me. That was
Ashlyn Pockert.
Pockert. She poke checks the puck away, but it gets stolen back right by Albert Lee. Albert Lee at the top of the circle, wrapping around. Off of a penalty with a slap shot. That had some power behind it. Was Mika Sykos, and she dumps it. And they dump it all the way back down to the Albert Lee zone, picked up by the netminder. Sykos with it, bounces off the boards, up to the cherry picker at the blue line. Now going across, shot into the screen, nobody there. Now Miller getting it up to number 4, that's Erickson. She dumps it into the Albert Lee zone, and Albert Lee picks it up back behind their own net. And now with it is Albert Lee. Getting into a little bit of a scrum there, just under 15 minutes left to go in this second period. Albert Lee getting it up, but it bounces off the stick and back into the Albert Lee zone. Albert Lee dumping the puck. They're not going to call an ice because it hit a couple of sticks along the way. So Northfield trying to clear it out, and they do into neutral ice and all the way down. And now they're going to call an icing. So let's take a look at the schedule coming up here for the Northfield Raiders. We heard in our chat with Coach LaPanta that they're going to be in a little bit of a meat and potato situation for their schedule coming up. They have Albert Lee tonight. They have Mankato East on Thursday. That's going to be over at St. Olaf College. And then they're going to have Rosemount, and then they're going to be in their holiday tournament. And on the flip side of things, Albert Lee, they're going to be taking on Winona, Mound West Tonka, War Road, and Crookston. That's all up in Hockeytown, USA, in War Road, Minnesota, for their holiday tournament. So a lot of tournaments going on here in the next couple of weeks. Now with the puck behind their own net is Northfield. Bringing it up the ice is number 5, She's going coast to coast. That's Taylor Crone. She takes a shot. That gets stick saved by the netminder. Albert Lee trying to clear out the puck, and not going to call icing because it was touched up by a couple of players on the way down. Now Mia Miller fighting for it back behind her own net. Miller getting caught up by Albert Lee just a little bit there. She clears it out, and it's a 3-on-1 situation. Hard hit into the boards, but Albert Lee goes down. Just under 14 minutes left to go here in this second period. Albert Lee clearing out the puck, and picking it up will be number 11, Reese Peruka. She gets it all the way up to Pockert. Pockert going in, taking a shot. That goes wide. Picked up on the far boards by Olive Cook. She had her first couple of goals last week as an 8th grader. Now Albert Lee with it, back down in the Northfield zone. Albert Lee fighting for it. Shot put on, nobody there. Pass picked up by number 9, Hannah Austinson. Northfield just trying desperately to get it out of their own zone, and a little tap put on from Northfield, or Albert Lee there to Emily Beham. Albert Lee keeping it in. Shot put on. Stick save by Mueller. Back out at the blue line. Shot goes wide. That was put on by Olivia Ellsworth. Just under 13 minutes left to go here in this second period. And a shot goes wide from the blue line from Albert Lee. Now pass all the way over to number 18, I do believe. That's Emily Beham, and they're going to call offsides coming up on Northfield. And we're going to drop the puck just on the outside of the Albert Lee zone.
I think Northfield's come out pretty strong here in the first 4.5 minutes. They definitely have a little bit more fire than they did in the first period. And do you think that has anything to do with the fact that they're down by 2 goals right now?
Probably. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall when Coach Carter was talking to them in between periods there, just to see what she said to get them all riled up here in this second period. But now with the puck is Northfield in the Albert Lee zone. And a 4-on-1 situation coming up for Albert Lee. Poke checked away by Northfield. Picking it up back behind her own net is Erickson. Erickson getting it up to number 2. That is, there she is, Gendra. Gendra trying to get it down to the Albert Lee zone, but Albert Lee bringing it back the other way. Just under 12 minutes left to go here in this second period, and it looks like Northfield lost a stick. That was number 22, Abby Castle. She loses her stick back behind her own net, and she's going to go to the bench to trade out, and they're going to call a stoppage of play because the netminder, Jada Moyer, for Albert Lee, was able to dive on top of it, and it is now 11:40 left to go here in this second period on the Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's 2-0. Going to have a puck drop coming up here just to the right. Our right, the goalie left, and it looks like there's going to be a... Oh, they brought the stick from Northfield to the Albert Lee bench.
Oopsies.
Yep. Glove side drop coming up here. Northfield wins the draw. Can't seem to get anything going, but now a shot put on. That gets saved. Stopped at the blue line, but Albert Lee able to get it to neutral ice. Albert Lee picking it up now. That's Kaylee Noble. Cross ice pass out to number 4. That is Sydney Kolker. She puts a shot. That goes wide. Now bringing it up for Northfield. I think that might be Miller. She dekes in left and right, but she puts a shot. That goes high. Now with the puck is Northfield. That is number 21, Mika Sykos. She tries to clear it out, but Northfield just keeps it right in there. Albert Lee coming back after Northfield does a quick dump and change, trying to get a fresh pair of skaters out there. Puck back up in neutral ice. Anna Shaw with it, dumping it in behind the Northfield net. 10.5 minutes left to go here in this second period. And now picking it up is Isabella Paulson. And the puck is going to go all the way down, and I think they're going to call an icing.
These long changes are kind of catching both of these teams a little bit.
Yeah.
You're noticing Northfield gets a puck deep. They're getting changes. Wholesale line changes. Albert Lee's looking for a far side pass. Same thing on the other side. Albert Lee gets a puck deep. They go for a wholesale line change. Northfield's looking for their cherry pickers up top too. So definitely smart changes are important in the second period. But I think Northfield is still just a little bit ahead with the momentum.
Now bringing it back the other way is Northfield, but it gets cut off at the pass by Albert Lee. They bring it back into the Northfield zone. Miller picking it up back behind her own net. Just under 10 minutes left to go here in this second period. And Albert Lee has the 2-goal lead on the Heritage Bank scoreboard. Back up in neutral ice is Albert Lee. Now with the puck, Northfield trying to dump it in. And hopefully getting at least one or two fresh skaters out there. Paulson with it, trying to knock it down in the Albert Lee zone, but Albert Lee getting it back Northfield zone. Swinging shot around by Haley Austinson. 9.5 minutes left to go here in this first period, or in the second period rather. And Northfield dumps the puck, and they're going to call an icing.
Another example of that. They're looking for that high pass. Great play by the defenseman to step up on that. Didn't think that should have been an icing because the defenseman stepped, but here we are, defensive zone face-off for the Raiders with 9:22 left on your Heritage Bank scoreboard.
Puck drop won by Albert Lee. And pass out in front gets picked off by Northfield. And Albert Lee with it at the blue line. Shot put on into traffic. That goes high. Almost hits the netting. The wrong one, though. Now Northfield clearing out the puck, and they're going to call ice, and we're going to have a defensive puck drop coming up here for Northfield.
We've had just a couple icings this period, too, I'm noticing. I have a feeling that has to do with the long change. Getting tired, looking for those long passes to get the puck out of their D zone, whether their pass is off or not. But both ways, both teams are doing it.
Just under 9 minutes left to go here in this second period. Northfield trails by 2. A little fight for it in the far boards there. Bringing it up will be Emily Beham. Crosses the blue line, goes left, right, passes it off. Nice shot put on the backhanded by number 11, Reese Peruka. But that gets stick saved by Moyer. Now Northfield with it back in the Albert Lee zone. Albert Lee picking it off. 8.5 minutes left to go here in this second period. Albert Lee picking it up, wrapping it around the back of the net, trying to get that breakout play going. And they do, but it's stopped at neutral ice by Northfield. Northfield cross-ice pass, dumping it in, and chasing after it, putting the gas on is Ashlyn Pockert. And she gets tied up in the near corner, and she goes down. Now with the puck is Northfield out at neutral ice. Shot put on by Tapper. That goes wide. And clearing it down, and they're going to wave off icing. 7:40, a shot put on from the near boards. Stick saved by Mueller. Now Albert Lee. Tigers passing it out in front. Nobody there. But now with the puck is number 4, Sydney Kolker. Shot out in front. Nobody there. Northfield picking it up. It's a 2-on-1 situation for Northfield. Now Albert Lee with the puck. Hannah Austinson passes it off, but it gets picked up by Northfield. 7 minutes left to go here in this second period on the Heritage Bank scoreboard. It's 2-0 in favor of Albert Lee. Now Albert Lee with the puck. Dumping it into the Northfield zone. It gets picked up by Northfield at the blue line with it. It's a 2-on-1 situation for Northfield. Cross ice. Number 18, that was Emily Beham. That gets poke-checked away by Albert Lee. Albert Lee bringing it back the other way. Passing it up to number 20, Morgan Goskinson. Shot put into traffic. It gets stopped by Mia Miller. Miller wrapping it around the dot, back around her own net, dumping it out to pick up that breakout play, but it's broken up by Albert Lee. Albert Lee chasing after it now. That is Mika Sykos, and a shot put out in front. That gets stopped by Mueller. Goskinson now with the puck. Passes out in front, stick save by Mueller. Another shot put on. Pad save by Mueller. Miller goes down, and she goes after the puck once again, and a wrist shot put on, and it almost went in. But now Northfield, they dump the puck, and they're going to call it icing and hopefully get a little bit of a reprieve so they can get 5 fresh skaters out onto the ice for this defensive face-off coming up here.
They had a lot of grade A opportunities right there. They had a lot of shots in close, but the Northfield defense people, right in front of the net, ready to clear those pucks out, ready to go. Every shot that came in.
Ready to clear that trash out, as they say in the Mighty Ducks.
Great movie.
Yes. Bringing it up the ice now for Northfield is Peruka. She shot put on a goal! That was a beautiful goal by Emma Peruka to cut the lead to 1 for Northfield.
That was a great pass, looking for that stretch pass. She's right at the red line. Gets a long pass. Here's your replay from Community Resource Bank. Let's bank together. She's up at the red line, gets that pass, takes it in, and then just puts it home. It was a great shot, great play, and needed right now, definitely. 5.5 left in the second period.
That was Peruka to Peruka. It was Emma on the goal, Reese on the assist. So now the score is cut to 1. Now Northfield getting on the far boards. Trying to clear it out. Let's see if they can do that once again here. Now Peruka dumping it back in. And it looks like they're going to call an icing. Going to bring it back and have a defensive drop here on the glove side of Mueller.
I was just going to say before Peruka's goal, it kind of felt like the momentum had shifted a little bit in Albert Lee's favor. Northfield came out strong. They were playing hard those first 8-9 minutes, and then all of a sudden for like the last 3 minutes kind of shifted. And I think right now with that goal, it's going to shift right back. And the Northfield Raiders are going to have that momentum going into the last 4-5 minutes of this period.
Pockert bringing it up, going coast to coast. Let's see if she can imitate Peruka. But the poke check from Albert Lee dashes any of that. Now bringing it back up is Albert Lee. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Cutting it off at the pass was number 12, Brooklyn Hubbard. And it looks like they're going to call a interference call on Miller once again. She's been sitting a lot this game.
She has. Second penalty. Does she have interference for the last penalty too?
I think so.
I think she may have. And yeah, definitely not something you want to have happen after the goal with that momentum shift. But
with just 4:33 left to go in the period too.
Definitely.
Puck drop coming up, and it's won by Albert Lee. Albert Lee getting the puck at the blue line. Slap shot put on and a stick save by Mueller. And now the puck down in the Northfield zone. Albert Lee with it. And I'm noticing something here. Number 21 for Sykos, for Albert Lee, she's telegraphing her shot. So I think if Albert Lee or Northfield could pick up on that, then they might be able to stop that one-time shot from the blue line by Sykos. But now with the shot from Haley Austinson, that goes high and wide. Back around to the blue line. Fake shot, pass down low. Shot put on by Albert Lee. Nobody is there. 3:40 left to go in the period. 1:06 left to go in the penalty to Miller. Now Albert Lee with it back behind their own net. Peruka trying to go down and do something with it. But Morgan Goskinson, she takes a shot. That goes high up into the netting. Now they wrap it around the back of the net. Now bringing it back up the ice is Northfield. They get it out to center ice, but it's stopped by Albert Lee. Now on the near boards is Morgan Goskinson. She crosses left and takes a shot. That goes wide. Just under 3 minutes left to go here with 24 seconds left to go in the power play for Albert Lee. And Northfield, they dump the puck. They don't call icing. And on the far boards, picking it up is number 7, Haley Austinson. She goes once left, right, and a shot put on, and a little bit of extracurriculars going on in front, because what had happened was Austinson had shot the puck. Mueller covered it up, and I think that was number 20. That was Morgan Goskinson. She took another little tap at it, and Northfield didn't take too kindly to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either.
I mean,
I would go to blows over something like that to my goalie back in the day.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's goalies just trying to do their job. You don't need to be slashing them after the
fact.
The puck's covered.
We're at full strength here for both sides. 2.5 minutes left to go in this second period. Bringing it up the ice for Albert Lee is Hansen. Hansen back around the Northfield net. A little fight going on for it in the far corner there. Albert Lee bringing it back behind the net. That's number 18, I believe, Shelby Evans. Evans trying to take a shot on the net, and Northfield clears the puck, and they're going to call an icing.
Albert Lee is really just doing anything they can to get the puck to the front of the net, whether it be trying to pass over Macy Mueller's stick through the crease. They tried that a little bit earlier, went off her stick, almost went in. Just threw the puck from the corner. I mean, they're just trying to get the pucks to the net. They know that if they get the pucks in their feet, in Macy Mueller's feet, they're going to probably have an opportunity on a rebound.
And it's worked 21 shots so far. It's 21-7 on the shot situation. And another ice coming up here for the Albert Lee Tigers in the offensive position here with just under 2 minutes left to go in this second period.
On the flip side, Northfield, off of these face-offs, these icing face-offs, are trying to run the play that they scored, that Emma Prutka scored her goal off of. Get that puck to the red line as fast as you can, create a rush going the other way, catch the Albert Lee defensemen on their heels.
One-time shot from the blue line, and another shot put on net. Mueller able to gobble that one up.
I feel like we also started off this period with like 2 face-offs in 7 minutes, and now I think we've had 7 face-offs in 2 minutes.
Now puck job won by Albert Lee. Psychos at the blue line, cuts left, slap shot put on into the traffic. Nobody there. 1:38 left to go here in this second period, and bringing it up the ice is Cook, but it gets stolen away. Miller trying to do something with it. Cuts to the left. Back over to the right, crosses over the blue line, or the red line, excuse me. Bounce off the board, Miller going into the offensive zone. Shot put on into the bright basket of Moyer, and she covers it up. 1:20 left to go here in this second period. And gotta wonder, too, if the short turnaround is sitting on the minds of these Northfield Raiders tonight, too, because they just have at least a day before they take on their next opponent at St. Olaf. We'll talk about more of that here in just a little bit. But now with the puck is Albert Lee in neutral zone after Northfield loses control of it. But Miller able to poke check that one away. 64 seconds left to go here in this second period. On the Heritage Bank scoreboard, it's 2-1 in favor of Albert Lee. 1 minute left to go here in this second period. And not sure what happened there, but Haley Austinson just got away with a penalty. Now Miller on the near boards. Albert Lee with it, picks it up on the near boards. That is number 14, Ellsworth. She dumped. And welcome back to Northfield Live. Gotta love technical things tonight, but on the Heritage Bank scoreboard update, once again, your score so far is 2-1 in favor of the visiting Albert Lee Tigers. And let's take a let's take a look just briefly on how Northfield, was able to cut the lead to 1 point. It was a beautiful setup by the Perukas. It was Reese Peruka getting the puck from the offense or from their defensive zone all the way up to Reese Peruka at the red line, and Reese Peruka was able to just weave in and out seamlessly and beautifully through the defense, and she put on a backhanded shot, and it went right past the netminder Moyer for the Albert Lee Tigers, and it just hit the back of the net right where it was supposed to go, and that's how we got to this point. 2-1 is our score so far, and it looked as well as if the penalty bug was biting anybody and everybody here tonight as well. It just seemed that it was a constant rotating door almost of penalties on either side of the puck for both Northfield and for Albert Lee. And that was one of the things that the coach that we talked with in the pregame was what plagued them the last time around against Albert Lee. It was penalties, and that's what they need to work on going forward between these two teams if they are going to see each other. Because, as you mentioned, Cassandra, in the pregame, this game has end-of-season seeding implications for both sides. So whoever wins and whoever loses, that could affect their overall outcome and overall seeding and coming up in the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at their records, Raiders are 6-4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tigers are 9-1. Obviously, it looks like the season is favoring the Tigers a little bit, but then you go to conference play, and they're right there. I think Northfield is 5-1, and Albert Lee is 6-1, or 4-1 and 5-1.
6-1 atop the Big Nine are the Tigers, and 5-1 atop the Big Nine for the Northfield Raiders.
Yeah, so I mean, they're right there. These two teams are the best two teams, in my opinion, in the section and in the conference. So, Yes, this game is huge. And with that overtime loss.
And, win for Albert Lee, loss for Northfield last time.
Right, but then Albert Lee had their overtime loss against Owatonna.
Right.
So, again, another big section thing. I mean, these games are important. Every single point in every single game that you can pick up throughout the season is important. But when it comes to these games, these have much bigger implications in the long term than maybe some other games that they might be playing this year.
Right.
So.
And let's take a look at the schedule coming up for both sides of the puck here tonight. First up for your Northfield Raiders, speaking of that scheduling situation, they got a very strong and a very, I don't want to say difficult, but a very entertaining schedule coming up here, because they only have tomorrow to rest and to get into practice and get into the mindset, because on Thursday, on the 19th, at St. Olaf, a college that is near and dear to your heart, Cassandra, Northfield is going to be taking on Mankato East. And then they only have 2 days. They have Friday. Oh, no, excuse me. They only have Friday to rest up, because then Saturday, the 21st, they'll be taking on Rosemount, and then they start their holiday tournament, and that is going to start against Western Wisconsin on the day after Christmas. So that's the next couple of games for Northfield here. Taking a look at the Albert Lee side of things, Mound West Tonka is on their schedule. Winona is going to be coming up next for the Tigers, and then Mount West Tonka, War Road, and Crookston will be the next 3 games, and that will be up in Hockeytown, USA for the Albert Lee Tiger holiday tournament. So that's a look at the schedules. That's a look how we are at a scoreboard update of 2-1 in favor of Albert Lee. We'll take another quick time out here on Northfield Live, and we'll be back with the final frame of this matchup right here at the Northfield Ice Arena on Northfield Live.
Raider Automotive is a full-service repair shop, collision center, and the only AAA authorized towing facility in Northfield. That means if you are in a minor or major collision this winter, or a deer finds your vehicle, Raider Auto can handle it all. We work with all major insurance companies to handle your vehicle from the tow to completing all your vehicle's repairs. Raider Auto on Highway 3 South in Northfield, 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Or find us at RaiderAutomotive.net. Go Raiders!
An ice dam is a ridge of ice that forms at the edge of a roof and prevents melting snow from draining off the roof. The water that backs up behind the dam can leak into a home and cause damage. This is Beth with Service Master by IAT. We can work with your insurance company to restore your property from damages caused by ice dams. Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master by IAT today, 877-945-0993.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
Whoa.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, my friend Jay and I are looking for our dream home, something big. Right now I feel like I'm living on top of him.
Great, let's talk mortgages.
Wait, your bank is looking...
Cozy? Yeah, we like personal interactions. But as you can see, our vault still has plenty of space for our customers' dreams.
Wow!
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Thomas Gardens in Faribault is set to get you ready for the holidays. Choose a porch pot and fill it up with their great selection of greens, birch, and spruce tops. Grab a wreath for your front door to greet your guests. For your dinner table, they have squash, honey, syrup, and wild rice. And if you're heading out of town and need a gift, they have local products arranged in baskets to share with your hosts. Thomas Gardens and Nursery, conveniently located along Highway 20 between Faribault and Northfield. Thomas Gardens, here to get you ready for the holidays.
Comprehensive Wealth Solutions is here to help you make informed decisions about your financial future. CWS understands that financial goals must evolve and adapt over time. That's why clients come first. CWS can provide you with a wealth strategy that aligns with your vision and values. As an independent financial planning and wealth management firm, CWS provides solutions for individuals and businesses alike. Visit CWSFBO.com for more information. CWS, providing big-time advice the small-town way.
Northfield Retirement Community is proud to introduce Enhanced Care Assisted Living. In this recently expanded area of our campus, we have increased daily licensed nursing coverage, making it possible to provide a higher level of clinical care and monitoring to those in need of additional support. This enhanced model of care provides more choices, allowing residents to age where they are. Contact Northfield Retirement Community for more information at northfieldretirement.org. Northfield Retirement Community, innovation, choice, tradition.
In the heart of Northfield, the Chamber of Commerce is more than a business network. It's the pulse of our vibrant community, bringing small, large, and local businesses together and supporting growth that strengthens the economy. The Chamber also promotes tourism, inviting visitors to experience the charm of our historic city. Whether it's strolling through our quaint downtown or attending one of our many events, we showcase all the reasons to fall in love with this beautiful town. The Chamber, where community, business, and tourism come together to make the city thrive.
What is your dream?
And welcome back to Northfield Live, where it's the start of the third period, and looks like they have a puck drop coming outside the Albert Lee zone here for, I think, offsides maybe. But now Albert Lee trying to get the puck back in the Northfield zone, and Northfield trying to do the same. Miller picking up the puck, and it looks like they're going to have a stoppage of play. What happened there? I didn't see any refs with their arms up to signal offsides, but was that?
I think it was an offsides.
Oh, man.
I think Miller made a move right at the blue line, faked out one of her teammates, and just a hair offsides.
Oh, man. Puck won by Northfield off the draw. They dump it into the Albert Lee zone. And now Miller trying to bring it back and do something with it once again. Passes it off to her teammate on the left side. It gets stolen away by Albert Lee. Albert Lee clearing out the puck. And it looks like there's going to be an icing called up here. And they're going to have a defensive puck drop for Albert Lee, offensive puck drop for Northfield, which I think they would rather have that instead of the alternative.
I mean, I would.
I know
I would definitely have an offensive zone face-off any day of the week.
And they have Miller out there on the ice with her starting lineup. So they'll be able to hopefully get something going here. Chasing after it is Reese Peruka on the far board. She gets tied up. Poke checked away by Albert Lee. And now chasing after it once again is Reese Peruka. Albert Lee trying to clear the puck back behind their own net. Gets picked up on the far boards by number 17, Hansen. Cross-ice pass over and down in the Albert Lee zone. Or no, excuse me, the Northfield zone. 15:37 left to go here in this third and final period. Albert Lee with the puck at neutral ice. Peruka dumping it in and changing out, and four go on, 4 go off. And now with the puck is Miller once again, wrapping around, shot on the net, gets stopped. Back over to Miller. Miller getting tied up on the near boards. Albert Lee clearing it back behind their own net. And out at the blue line. 3-on-1 situation. Light shot put on net, but stick save by Mueller. Now with the puck is number 18, Emily Beham. She crosses center ice, but it gets stolen away by Albert Lee, picked up by Northfield, and there's going to be a penalty.
Too many men on the ice. Mio Miller just a little slow to the bench, and whoever was going out on the ice for popped out and then had an opportunity to get the puck. So too many men on the ice, too many women on the ice for Northfield here. 14:46.
Not the type of penalty that you want to draw this late in the game.
Not a penalty. As a coach, I despise when this happens.
No, not Mia Miller. She's not going to be sitting. She's Isabella Paulson is going to be sitting for 2 minutes. Now Albert Lee with the shot on net. That goes wide. On the far boards. Picked up by Austinson. Austinson out to the blue line. And Psycho, she puts a shot on net. That goes wide. It's picked up by Goskinson. Shot and a glove save by Mueller. .14:08 left to go here in this third and final period. We're going to have a puck drop coming up on the stick side of Mueller. Albert Lee wins the draw, gets picked up by Northfield. They try to clear it out, but it's stopped at the blue line by Albert Lee. And all the way down to the Albert Lee zone. And they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They clear out the puck to the cherry picker. It goes high and wide, and no icing coming up here. Bringing it up the ice is Northfield. They try to clear it out, and Albert Lee just stops it right there. Peruka taking a swat at it. And now Albert Lee getting it at neutral ice. Psycho's with it. Rounds around the corner, out to number 7, Austinson. Austinson dumping it down, and chasing after it is Miller. Miller trying to clear the puck, and she does. Nobody was there to touch it, but Moyer stops the puck with 13:10 left to go here in this third period. Albert Lee bringing it back the other way. Deep down in the far zone was Beham, but Albert Lee trying and able to clear it out. Shot put on net, and a glove save by Mueller with 10 seconds left to go in the penalty. And just under 13 minutes left to go here in this third period. We're going to have a puck drop coming up here on the glove side of Mueller.
Mueller's had a few pretty good saves today. I mean, shots are pretty uneven. 26 for Albert Lee, only 10 for Northfield. And like we were saying earlier, like Albert Lee's had a lot of really great opportunities, but Northfield's keeping them out this third period so far.
Full strength coming up here for Northfield. Now Albert Lee with the shot into the screen. It's stopped by Northfield. Picking it up on the far side and getting it up to Peruka. And chasing after it is Peruka, but it's stopped by Moyer. And now Reese Peruka with the puck. Stolen away by Albert Lee. They try to clear it out. They do. Picked up by Miller. Miller crossing the ice. Stop. Back around the dot. Trying to clear out the puck. And she gets it off to number 5, Taylor Crone. but it's stolen away once again by Albert Lee. Albert Lee trying to dump it into the Northfield zone, picked up by Northfield. Dumping it in is number 10, I believe that was, Isabella Paulson, or that might have been Rasmussen. I couldn't tell by their number there. But now Albert Lee with the puck in their own zone. Gets stolen away by Northfield. Albert Lee clears it out. Picking it up now is Abby Castle. Cross-ice pass over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen up to number 18, I want to say. That might have been Beham. Beham, that shot put on net. Nobody there. Albert Lee trying to clear it out. And with the puck chasing after it for Northfield is Cook. Gets picked up by Miller at the blue line. Poke checked away by Albert Lee. Now with the puck is number 7, Haley Austinson. She's deep down in the Northfield zone. And now Northfield poke checking that away. Albert Lee trying to get it out in front, but it's stolen away by Northfield, and here they come. Going to the left, but it poke checked away. That was Peruka. Picking it back up behind the Northfield net is number 12, I want to say that was Brooklyn Hubbard. And now Albert Lee with the puck. Cross-ice pass from Colker to number 14. That is Olivia Ellsworth. And now the puck goes up and into the bench of Albert Lee. With 10:25 left to go here in this third period, Albert Lee currently leads 2-1 on your Heritage Bank scoreboard update. We're going to have a puck drop coming up just outside of the the Albert Lee zone.
Changes were getting a little scary there for both teams. Northfield tried to do that wholesale line change. Puck was only at the red line. Mm-hmm. And then Albert Lee, their changes are pretty in check. I mean, they're changing 1 or 2 players at a time. They're not doing those wholesale line changes like they were in the second period. So I'm sure that was a talking point in between periods.
Puck drop actually coming in the Albert Lee zone. It's picked up by Albert Lee, goes coast to coast. Shot, that goes wide. Now at the blue line is Albert Lee, but it's stolen away by Gindra. We got a penalty coming up on Albert Lee. A slash is going to be coming up here on Ellsworth. I believe that might have been.
I don't know. No one wants to claim it right now.
They all think, oh, no, I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
Ref is going to have to go. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Ellsworth is going to take 2 minutes. And now we're going to have a power play for Northfield with 10:08 left to go in this third period. Let's see what they can do. Puck drop coming up on the glove side of Albert Lee. It's won by Northfield, but it's picked up back behind her own net is Psychos. And poke checking away by Northfield. Gets picked up by Miller just inside the blue line. No, excuse me, that is number 11, Reese Peruka. Peruka back over to, I want to say, Beham. She tries to take a shot out in front, nobody there. Now Albert Lee with the puck on the near boards. Trying to clear it out, no icing. Miller chasing after it, so is Albert Lee. Miller back behind her own net. Kicking it into high gear, she goes coast to coast, left, right. Toe drag, but that gets almost stolen away by Albert Lee. Shot, or a puck out to the blue line, shot put on and into the breadbasket and saved by Moyer.
That was a lot of speed Miller had coming up the ice.
Gotta wonder where she kept it all.
She was using those lateral crossovers in the defensive zone to kind of gain that speed, get through the neutral zone. And I don't know if Albert Lee was ready for her. They kind of were gapping up a little slow, and then she just blew into the zone, but fortunately lost handle there at the top of the circles.
Puck drop coming up here on the stick side of Moyer for Albert Lee. Won by Albert Lee. Miller gets hit from behind. Couple of love taps there by the defense. Toe drag around the dot and runs into a miscommunication by her teammate. Miller hanging on to it. She hands off the puck. Back out to Miller, and she keeps it in. Oh, losing control of it. Now they gotta get cleared out. Northfield and Albert Lee fighting for it on the near boards here. They cross-ice pass. Picked up on the far side by Sydney Colker for Albert Lee. Back out to neutral ice is Northfield with it. Picking it up off of a poke check. That is number 22, Abby Castle. She takes it deep down into the Albert Lee zone. Back around the Albert Lee net. Hands it off to number 18, Emily Beham. Beham and Peruka calling for it. Beham put a shot on net. Poking at it. Nether. It gets picked up. Beham with it out to the blue line. Back down out to Beham, and we are full strength on both sides. And a shot out in front, nobody there, picked off by the screen, and it gets all the way down to Northfield zone. Peruka chasing after it, so does Austinson. Now Peruka out in front, and I think Psychos was out in front calling for it, but she goes chasing after it in the near corner, and there's a penalty coming up on Northfield. Don't know how that happened, but they're going to call a trip on Northfield. So, I don't know. I'm speechless off of that one. Northfield going on the penalty kill once again. We're going to have a puck drop coming up on the glove side of Mueller, excuse me. And now 7:40 left to go here in this third period. 2 minutes for tripping is going to be assessed to number 16, Emma Peruka. Now Albert Lee trying to clear the puck out of their own zone. They get it up to neutral ice. Cross ice pass over to Erickson. She hands it off and drops it off to Austinson. Austinson takes it deep. Back behind the Northfield net. Shot out in front, nobody there. And Northfield trying to clear the puck, and it gets stopped by the netminder. 7:04 left to go here. Psycho's trying to clear it out of her own zone. She gets it up to her teammate, and they cross ice pass over to number 20, Morgan Goskison. Now Albert Lee on the attack in the near corner. 6:48 left to go here in this third and final period. A minute left to go in the penalty to Northfield. Goskison trying to do something with it. She hands it off to number 4, Kolker. Kolker dumping it down behind the net for Northfield. And Northfield trying to clear the puck. And nobody was there. Peruka chasing after it. Coming up the ice is Albert Lee. Just to the left of the net. Shot on net. And it's saved by Northfield.
Albert Lee is still trying to get that puck anywhere they can to the net. They're just getting pucks to nets, going for those rebounds. I mean, 27 shots, not too far off from an average game for them, but they are keeping Northfield to only 12 here with 6 minutes to go.
Puck drop won by Albert Lee. Albert Lee digging around the defense, but a shot put on, that goes wide. Now Albert Lee with the puck at the blue line. They dump it down deep into the corner. Picked up by Northfield. Psycho's trying to chase after it. Albert Lee on the far side. Dump it back behind the net. We got 6 seconds left to go in the penalty to Northfield. And a shot put on from way behind the goal line. And it's stopped by Albert Lee. 5.5 minutes left to go here in this third and final period. Northfield trails by 1. Miller skating after it after Albert Lee dumps it into the Northfield zone. Northfield getting it in the near corner. They dump it back around to the far or to the near boards. Chasing after it is Peruka. And Psychos and Peruka just fighting for it out in front. Stops Peruka. Psychos dumping it back behind her own net. And coming back up with it is Rasmussen. She tries to get it in. And Peruka going in. And a shot put directly into the breadbasket of Moyer for Albert Lee. Puts a stop to that play. And I don't know if you saw this, Cass, but Cook barely got away with the offside.
Yeah, she was pretty dang close there. I saw her kind of curl in, offside, curl back out, onside. So I don't know.
It was close.
It was very close, especially from where I can't see the puck where Peruka had it on the blue line.
Just under 5 minutes left to go here in this third period. Northfield bringing it back up the ice on the far side. Shot put into the screen. Nobody there. And A little tie up on the backboards there. Coming in to help is Cook. Shot out in front, nobody there. Albert Lee bringing it back behind their own net. Getting it off the boards and all the way down into the zone, and they're going to call it icing, and they're going to bring it back the other way.
Sometimes I wish like college and NHL rules would come into play here on the icings, because that's what those players are looking for. They're looking to get the puck out of their zone. But in college and the NHL, if you win that race to the dots, you wave off the icing. I mean, both of these teams, I think, would be able to beat icings all day long.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes left to go here. Puck drop coming up here. And winning the draw is Lindsay Erickson for Northfield. And Albert Lee trying to clear it out, and they do, and it goes all the way down the ice, and icing is waved off. Paulson fighting for it back behind her own net. Picking it up for Northfield is number 2, Lillian Gindra. Bringing it back now for Northfield. Into neutral ice. Gindra loses control of it. Chasing after it once again. Psycho's taking a slap shot at it, but Gindra able to stop it. Now picking it up for Albert Lee is Erickson. And now with the puck is Austinson. She cuts in, takes a shot, nobody there, and Miller just puts a hard hit on the defense, on the offense there. 3:30 left to go here in this third period. On your Heritage Bank scoreboard, it's 2-1 in favor of Albert Lee. And now bringing it up the ice is Miller for Northfield. Miller trying to find somebody there, but nobody was there. And a hard hit and a penalty coming up for Albert Lee. They're going to get a body check called, and that's the kind of play that Miller was trying to draw all night, I think, and that's the kind of penalty that they are hoping for. And now they go back on the power play. Psychos is going to sit for 2 minutes.
All right, Eric. What do you do here? 3:13. Obviously, you have a power play.
Mm-hmm.
Power play runs out. You have 1:13 left. Do you pull the goalie if you keep possession at the end of this power play for a 6-on-4? Or do you wait for the power play to run out and then you have a 6-on-5? What do you do? I would do.
I would say pull the goalie. Get that extra attacker out there.
But then Albert Lee can try to ice it. Try to get the goal from wherever, and they can ice it. But if you wait, then you get an offensive zone faceoff.
Miller with the puck on the blue line.
A thinker.
Shot and a goal!
Yes, it doesn't matter.
No, it does not. Miller from Peruka from Miller, and that just tickles the twine to the left side of the net. And we have a 2-2 goal. Let's take a look at your replay this evening. Brought to you this evening by Community Resources Bank, and that was a beautiful goal for Peruka. 3:03 left to go here in this third period. It's tied 2-2.
Both Northfield goals, Emma Peruka, both Albert Lee goals, Haley Austinson, and we have another penalty.
What happened there? I was looking down for a sec.
It looked like it was a little battle back and forth, but it looks like we might have a hold.
Interesting.
On Reese Peruka.
So I think we're also going to have a timeout here, so let's take one as well. We'll be back on Northfield Live right after this.
Community banking at its best. Whether you are looking to improve your financial future, planning to buy a new home, or considering a mortgage, Heritage Bank in Northfield can help. Our ability to make decisions locally provides you the highest level of service at competitive rates. Your finances and home are important to you, and having a staff that you can trust makes all the difference. We make banking easy with real estate specialists and loan officers ready to help you. Stop by Heritage Bank on Highway 3 or contact us at heritagebankmn.com and see how the professionals at Heritage Bank can help you build your future.
Franzen Bank and Trust, where our mission is to determine your needs, develop relationships, and deliver solutions. We do this with superior customer service through timely communication by empowered employees who love to support the Northfield Dundas area. I'm Aaron Nibby, and I chose to be a business banker at Franzen Bank and Trust for these reasons. Stop by and meet me for your business banking needs at Franzen Bank and Trust, off Highway 3 in Dundas.
And welcome back to Northfield Live. Let's take a look once again at that Community Resources Bank replay. Off of that last goal, it was a beauty put on by Peruka from Miller. As you can see here, Miller just cross-eyes his pass right from the dot and sneaks it right by the glove of Moyer. But now Albert Lee is on the power play once again, as we had a hold or some sort of penalty on Northfield. And now Northfield trying to clear the puck, but it gets picked up by Albert Lee. Albert Lee bringing it around. Here comes Psychos with it. Brings it up to Austinson. Austinson at the red line. She loses control of it. And with 2.5 minutes left to go, Northfield trying to clear the puck or just dump the puck and get an attack zone going here. Chasing after it is Rasmussen for Northfield. And now Miller. No, excuse me, that was number 18, Beham. She clears the puck up. Gets picked up by Miller. Cross-ice pass. Back over to Miller. Miller trying to dump it in, but Psychos bringing it back up. Peruka giving her a few taps. And now Beham chasing after it. Miller once again trying to clear it out. Now with the puck is Austinson. They're going to call an offsides here. Albert Lee was just a little too gung-ho to get into the attacking position. So we have 55 seconds left to go here in this penalty for Northfield. And we're going to have a puck drop at center ice. Puck drop won by Albert Lee. Albert Lee bringing it up. Cross-ice pass picked off by Crone. She dumps it in and she goes chasing after it. Psychos right there to pick it up for Albert Lee. Bringing it back behind her own net. 90 seconds left to go here in this third period. Now with the puck is Haley Austinson. Austinson out in front. Shot put on into traffic. Nobody there. And now with the puck is Erickson for Albert Lee. Northfield doing a fantastic job killing these power plays tonight for Albert Lee. 11 seconds left to go. Shot put on net. Waffle saved by Mueller. 1 minute left to go here in this third period. And we are full strength for both squads. Albert Lee out in front. Psychos shot into the traffic. Nobody there. And a glove save by Mueller, but it's picked out of the air by Albert Lee. Now Goskinson getting the puck away from Northfield, but Northfield poke checking away. 33 seconds left to go. Cronin. She dumps it in, changes out. 28 seconds left to go. Bringing it up the ice is Austinson for Albert Lee. Now with the puck is Albert Lee. Shot and into the breadbasket of Mueller with 19 seconds on the clock exactly. And on your Heritage Bank scoreboard update, it is 2-all. We are just 19 seconds away from an extra frame here at the barn known as the Northfield Ice Arena. We have a puck drop coming up here on the stick side of Mueller. Northfield wins the draw, but it gets poke checked away by Albert Lee. Albert Lee gets the puck out in front. Northfield trying to clear the puck. 10 seconds left to go. Chasing after it are two Northfield, two Albert Lee. Both of the Perukas are chasing after it. 2 seconds left, and we are going into overtime. All righty, so we will step aside for just a few moments here. We'll be back on Northfield Live right after this.
Hometown Credit Union, we are proudly celebrating our 50-year anniversary. What originally started with little more than a ledger book and a cash box, Hometown is now a not-for-profit financial institution that serves the needs of over 23,000 people. We offer all the products and services you expect, while also being personal enough to truly partner with our members through all of life's journeys. Join us at www.hometowncu.coop and see why the Hometown Credit Union can be your trusted partner for financial success.
Hi, Dr. Michael Ritchie, Ritchie Eye and LASIK. Many people tell me they've heard horror stories about all the drops needed after cataract surgery. Well, fear no more. At Ritchie Eye and LASIK, Dr. Miller and Dr. Reinsbach are dropless. That's right. No need for medicated eye drops before or after your cataract surgery. I love dropless for my cataract surgery, and you will too.
Ritchie Eye and LASIK in Faribault, your leader in advanced cataract surgery.
Heritage Dental Care in Northfield is a general dental clinic specializing in a variety of dental procedures and services. New patients and emergencies are welcomed 5 days a week. Heritage Dental Care is a proud supporter of Northfield Athletics and wish all of our athletes the best of luck this season. Make an appointment today with Dr. David Bress, Dr. David Buck, or Dr. Michael Thompson. Go Raiders! No matter what business you're in, it's hard to find someone to keep your business clean. ServiceMaster by Ayatt's Janitorial Services cover everything from floor care and carpet cleaning to general cleaning, windows, and power washing. When you're in need of janitorial cleaning services, demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster by Ayatt today.
Demand the yellow van. Call ServiceMaster.
Thomas Gardens in Faribault is set to get you ready for the holidays. Choose a porch pot and fill it up with their great selection of greens, birch, and spruce tops. Grab a wreath for your front door to greet your guests. For your dinner table, they have squash, honey, syrup, and wild rice. And if you're heading out of town and need a gift, they have local products arranged in baskets to share with your hosts. Thomas Gardens and Nursery, conveniently located along Highway 20 between Faribault and Northfield. Thomas Gardens, here to get you ready for the holidays.
Whoa.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, my friend Jay and I are looking for our dream home. Something big. Right now I feel like I'm living on top of him.
Great, let's talk mortgages.
Wait, your bank is looking
cozy. Yeah, we like personal interactions. But as you can see, our vault still has plenty of space for our customers' dreams.
Wow.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
And welcome back to Northfield Live, where we are about to enter into the overtime period between the Northfield Raiders and the Albert Lee Tigers. 8 minutes on the clock is going to be starting here in just a few moments, and we'll break down how we got to this point after the completion of this matchup. But it has been an exciting matchup so far this evening between these two clubs. Second time in 25 years that these two have faced off in an overtime period. Let's see what happens. Now Albert Lee with the puck in the neutral zone. Northfield picking it off. Peruka getting it over to number 5. Who was that? That was number 5 on my roster is Taylor Crone. Now with the puck is Albert Lee behind their own net. Albert Lee bringing it back up the ice. Picked off by number 10, Olivia Rasmussen. Shot put on net, and it's saved by Mueller. Psychos, another shot on net. That goes wide. Now with the puck is Austinson. It gets picked off by Northfield. Kicking into high gear is Crone. She dumps it in, and she changes out. 7 minutes left to go in the overtime period. And now with it is Miller. She cuts across, passes it off to Cook. Cook takes a shot. That just goes wide of the net. Now with the puck is Albert Lee back behind their own net. And we have a down player on the ice. They're not going to stop the play. Looked like she got up. Looks like she's all right. But Northfield, they got the puck in their own zone. And that was Emma Peruka that went down hard. Bringing it up the ice is number 3, Olive Cook. She cuts to the left. Picked up by Miller after it gets stopped dead in its tracks. But now Castle trying to cut off the breakout play. Miller with it back behind her own net. A little tie up in the corner there. 6:15 left to go in the overtime period. Cook getting it at the blue line, clearing it out to neutral ice. Now with the puck for Albert Lee is Erickson. Castle trying to dump the puck in. And now with the puck is Evans. She dumps it in. Saved by Mueller. Miller trying to clear out the puck. Just under 6 minutes left to go here in this overtime period. And now Northfield, they clear out the puck. Chasing after it is Erickson for Albert Lee, but wasn't quite fast enough. And there's going to be an icing call coming up here, going all the way down to the Northfield zone and the glove side of Mueller.
It's one of those things that you want to try to avoid, especially in an overtime period, is defensive zone faceoffs. So keeping those icings to a minimum, making those passes, at least getting to the red line. But Northfield's also been doing a pretty decent job on their D-zone faceoffs.
Northfield's shot, or Albert Lee's shot, excuse me. That was a glove save by Mueller. And I think at this point in the matchup, any save that Mueller can make like that, she's breathing a big old sigh of relief.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's one of those types of shots that she does not want to see very often in this overtime period. Puck drop won by Northfield. It's picked up by Peruka. Fighting for it is Mia Miller in the far boards. And now putting a little extra pressure on is number 5, Taylor Crone. Albert Lee dumping it back behind the Northfield zone, or Northfield's net. But now Northfield getting it off the glass. And picking it up is Reese Peruka. Peruka on a 2-on-1 situation. Shot. Nobody there for the rebound. 5 minutes left to go here in this overtime period. And now with the puck is Albert Lee in their own zone. Cross-ice pass. Getting it up to, I want to say that might have been Psychos, but now on a power play or on a breakaway pass was Kaylee Noble. And now with the puck is Northfield on the near boards. They get it out to neutral ice. Chasing after it is Psychos for the Albert Lee Tigers. She wraps it around. Dekes out the defense. On the near boards, and a shot put on, stopped by Miller in front. Miller trying to clear it off the glass, and she does. And chasing after it is Northfield. They're on the far dot. Shot, and a penalty should be coming up here. But they're just going to call a face-off.
Interesting call there.
That was clearly a trip as she let go of the puck. And they're just going to call it as a off the net.
I will say, BM got some pretty good air there trying to get around that defenseman. She kind of chipped that puck forward, tried to hop around her.
4:20 left to go here in this overtime period. And Cook putting a little extra pressure on the defense there. Now the puck on the near boards. And Rasmussen dumping it back behind the net. Chasing after it is Cook. Albert Lee, they try to clear out the puck, and the ref is going to call it a tip. Chasing after it is number 10. That is Olivia Rasmussen. She puts a little bit of extra pressure on the defense as she ties up her defensive player on the boards. And now a shot out in front. And that could have been one of those that you don't want to see very often, even in regulation. And there's a penalty coming up here on Northfield. Not sure for what. A cross check with 3.5 minutes left to go here in this overtime period. It looks like they're going to send Olivia Cook to the sin bin for 2 minutes.
It's a tough time to take a penalty. Yeah, we can't see from where we're standing exactly. We've got a lot of fans here at Northfield Ice Arena. So our view is obstructed, but if both refs had their arms up, they both saw something.
Now Albert Lee with the puck at the blue line. Down low, shot. Pad saved by Mueller. So now with the puck, Peruka. She dumps the puck. Gets picked up by Albert Lee. Psychos off the boards. And they're going to call an icing, and they're going to bring it all the way down. With 3:09 left to go here in this overtime period. Oh, no, they're not going to call icing. They're going to call offsides, which is making my head hurt because it looked like it was an icing.
See if they go to center ice for the face-off.
I think they are. So out on the ice now is both Perukas and Miller, and I think Isabella Paulson. But now Miller dumps the puck back behind the net. 3 minutes left to go in the game, and a minute and a half left to go in the power play for Albert Lee. Poke checking away by Peruka. She toe drags it, shot put on net, and the net gets knocked off in the process. And the fans here in attendance are not liking that call.
I don't know if anyone here, Northfield bench, coaches, anyone's really. Albert Lee's liking the no call, but I don't know if anyone else here is.
There should have been at least a penalty of some sort here, but they're just going to say that the net came off the pegs.
So one of the Northfield coaches looking for a penalty shot. I would love to see a penalty shot
I would
in
too.
Overtime
Yes.
in this game. Oof.
What's that quote from that Adam Sandler movie? They're on a penalty shot in overtime. It happens like once every 1,000 years.
And we could have seen it here tonight.
Northfield with the puck. Gets poked away by Albert Lee. Albert Lee on the attack with a minute 2 left to go in the power play that was assessed to Northfield. Now with the puck and the shot and the glove save by Northfield with 2.5 minutes left to go in the matchup.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've ever seen a penalty shot in overtime. That would have to be a pretty blatant call.
It would be. And we are going to take a timeout here on Northfield Live. We'll be back right after this.
Located in downtown Northfield, Champion Sports has a great selection of Raiders, St. Olaf, and Carlton merchandise, including jackets, hats, and hoodies. Champion's got you covered. Champion Sports has everything you need for the hockey season, with a large selection of official CCM hockey equipment, including all the essentials, plus skate sharpening. You'll always be ready to hit the ice. Check them out on Facebook and Instagram to know when the latest seasonal gear is in stock at Champion Sports Northfield. Gear up like a champion at Champion Sports.
Ho, ho, ho! It's time to celebrate the year-end closeout at Northfield Ford Chrysler. Give yourself the gift of 23% off select Ford products and interest rates as low as 0% on Ford, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram products. But don't forget, vehicle trades have never been worth more. Don't wait for a better deal. Happy holidays from Northfield Ford Chrysler. When you're ready for an extraordinary sales experience, we're ready to serve anytime at FordandNorthfield.com and open 6 days a week, located on Highway 3 here in Northfield. Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year.
Welcome back to Northfield Live. We're on the Heritage Bank scoreboard update. It is 2-2. We are in overtime, and Northfield is on a penalty kill for 56 seconds left here, and Northfield feels like they just got robbed of a penalty of some sort. They're going to bring the puck all the way down to the other end of the ice, and if you happen to miss it, it was Peruka on a very beautiful what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a breakaway.
Breakaway. There it is.
There you
go. And she just got taken down hard and into the netting, and they just said that the net came off the posts. But now Northfield, they try to clear the puck all the way down, and they do, and both Perukas in a little bit of a scrum back behind the Albert Lee zone, or net. And now Albert Lee getting the puck away from that scrum. They get it up to the cherry picker. Defense trying to pick it up, and Miller able to poke check it away. Getting it up to Peruka at the red line. She crosses the blue line at the face-off dot, and she stops, swings back around. 18 seconds left, out in front to Miller. Shot is blocked. 10 seconds left to go in the power play for Albert Lee. And Albert Lee, they dump the puck. Gets picked up by Rasmussen. Rasmussen trying to clear the puck, and a shot and off the stick of Mueller. And we are full strength here. Cook coming out to join the fray. Miller getting it back behind her own net. Getting it picked up on the near side by Rasmussen. Rasmussen backing around the back of the net. Picked up on the far side by Albert Lee. 1:21 left to go in overtime. And now with the puck is Northfield. They try to clear it out, and it gets stolen away by Albert Lee. Out in front, shot, and it goes up and wide. And now with the puck is Albert Lee once again off of the save from Mueller. Out at the blue line is Albert Lee. Shot from the blue line with a minute left to go here in this overtime period. We are tied 2-2 on the Heritage Bank scoreboard. Northfield trying to clear it out. They almost got it up to their cherry picker, but it was stopped by the defense of Albert Lee. Now with the puck is Northfield. I want to say that is Peruka. She dumps it in and all the way back behind the net. And chasing after it is Cook. She puts a hard hit on the defense. Now Peruka with it. Gets stopped at the blue line by Rasmussen. Everybody has to clear out. Back out to the defense for Northfield. Northfield crosses the red line. 27 seconds left. Shot put on. Nobody there. Now with the puck is Northfield in the Albert Lee zone. 20 seconds left. Shot out in front. And now with the puck is Albert Lee. And coming up to help is Rasmussen. Stop. 10 seconds left. Wrapping around. Shot put on. Nobody there. That goes wide. And now with the puck out in front was a shot from Albert Lee, and that will do it for the overtime period. Now, does that mean that we're going to double overtime, or are we going? Is that the end of the game? I think that's the end of the matchup. So, yep, I think that does it. So, on the Heritage Bank scoreboard update, it is, yep, the ref is calling for handshakes here, so that will do it. On the Heritage Bank scoreboard update, it is final score of 2-2. We'll be right back with your post-game cleanup brought to you by Service Master by AOT. When disaster strikes, demand the yellow van. We'll be right back after this.
No matter what business you're in, it's hard to find someone to keep your business clean. Service Master by IATS Janitorial Services cover everything from floor care and carpet cleaning to general cleaning, windows, and power washing. When you're in need of janitorial cleaning services, demand the yellow van. Call Service Master by IAT today.
Demand the yellow van. Call Service Master.
Northfield Live doesn't just provide game coverage. We provide opportunities for Northfield youth to showcase, learn, and experience many aspects of media. Practice their communication skills by providing play-by-play and color announcing, getting interviews with fellow students or coaches, or writing stories. They can showcase their graphic art skills by creating social media, running cameras for events, or producing a game like the one you're watching now. We also utilize the talents of adults to help mentor and provide a quality experience for the students. If you or someone you know might be interested in growing our coverage, you're welcome to call, text, or email us from the Northfield Live page at any time.
And welcome back to Northfield Live, where the Raiders from Northfield, they tied in overtime with the visiting Albert Lee Tigers. And let's take a look at the breakdown of tonight's matchup. And all the replays tonight are brought to you by Community Resources Bank. First up in that first period, Albert Lee, they scored very quick, and they scored rather abruptly. At 5:56, it was number 7 from Albert Lee, Haley Austinson, getting the puck from number 17, Araya Hansen, off of a beautiful setup, and they just were able to get it right by the stick of the netminder Mueller. And just about 5 minutes or so later, at 10:43 in the first period, it was once again Haley Austinson, but this time she got the puck from Mika Sykos. And we should also mention that that first goal for Albert Lee was on a shorthanded situation. So Northfield was on the power play there, but once again at 10:43, Austinson got the puck once again from Mika Sykos, and she was just able to get that puck right by the Northfield netminder, and that's what set the tone, I think, for this matchup. Let's take a look at that second. All right, so here's the first goal once again. As we can see, it was a breakout play of sorts, and back behind the net and right out in front. Could not have drawn it up any better because it was just right place, right time. Now let's take a look at the second goal here for Albert Lee, right against the near boards here. Cross in front, backhanded, right past the stick of Mueller. So let's go to the second period, where Northfield, they answered with a Peruka double play of sorts from Reese to Emma. and it was right off of a face-off here in the second period, and Reese got the puck up to, or Emma, got the puck up to Reese, who was cherry-picking out by the red line, and she just snuck it right by the stick of the netminder Moyer. And it wasn't until the third period. That was the only goal for that second period. In the third period, it was Emma Peruka, once again. She got the puck from Mia Miller, and she was able to just slice it right into the back of the net, and that tied up the score at 2 apiece. We go into overtime, and the entire 8 minutes runs its course, and that's our final score by a score of 2-2 in favor of, a split. So each team tallies a tie tonight, and the one thing that we talked about a lot tonight, Cass, was the penalty kills and the power plays for each side of the puck. And the coach even said in the pregame, the last time that these two saw each other, Northfield was plagued a lot by penalties, and that's something that they kind of worked on a little bit. From my perspective, what was your perspective on that?
I mean, I think there were penalties both sides. Both teams had some pretty, I would say, not great penalties that were taken. I mean, sticky penalties, stop moving their feet, tripping penalties, cross-check penalty. I mean, those are tough penalties to take. Those are relatively preventable. But there were also some of those plays that were being made that the players were playing physically. I mean, there was a body check. There was an interference. I mean, that's just, you're in the game. You're trying to play hockey. Unfortunately, girls hockey, you don't have that checking. You don't have as much body contact, but there's still body contact that happens. But then you look at the goals. First goal for Albert Lee, shorthanded goal, so special teams. That second goal to tie it up with just a couple minutes left in the third period, a special teams goal by Northfield, by Emma Perutka. Special teams are really big for these teams, especially going into this kind of matchup where there's conference stakes at play. I mean, look at the end of the season, these two teams could be the head-to-head for that top spot in the Big Nine.
Right.
They are in two different sections, so hopefully it's not it wouldn't be like a Northfield versus Albert Lee, who's the top player in this third top team in the section, but these two teams are likely going to be at the top of their sections.
Yeah.
So just a great game all around to watch.
Yep.
Good speed, good hockey.
Yeah, and I noticed a little bit there were bits and pieces of speed being brought out by some of the players, especially Mia Miller. She was one that she had a lot of gas left in that reserve tank, and she showed it. She showcased it numerous times by going coast to coast. But you got to wonder if there was a little bit of holding back, so to speak, because the last time that these two teams saw each other, they went into overtime again, but Albert Lee came out on top in that situation. So do you think that Northfield was kind of lamenting on that, kind of stewing on that, and going, do we really want to run into that sort of situation and get into trouble, or should we come out and announce our presence with authority, so to speak, and try to outscore, outshoot, outplay this Albert Lee squad here tonight?
I mean, maybe, but I remember last year, because Northfield Live, we've covered this Northfield team for a little bit. Got to watch them play quite a bit last year, and I remember Coach Haley, now Coach Paige Carter, Coach Carter saying, you got to forget what just happened. You have a certain amount of time, you can think about what happened in the game, but you have to move forward, especially with these close games or those close losses. They hurt. They really do. No competitor likes to lose.
Right.
But then you have to move forward. You have to look at that next game, and these kind of back-to-back or these kind of weeks, especially looking forward, they've got a ton of games coming up. This is preparing them for the end of the season, where they have sections happening on a Thursday, a Wednesday, Saturday, Thursday. And then you have the state tournament, which are 3 back-to-back days. All of this is important, and it's all just preparing this Northfield team for the rest of the season.
Right. And glad that you brought up that meat and potatoes of the season. They are going to have Northfield and Albert Lee are both going to have just really quick turnarounds. There's no rest for the weary coming up here in the next couple of games. Let's take a look at Northfield, for example. They only have tomorrow to rest and recuperate and get their minds right, because they have Mankato East coming to town, and you can catch that game right here on Northfield Live. We're going to be from St. Olaf College over at that rink. I'm really excited for that one. that should be a good matchup. And then they're going to have basically Friday to rest and recuperate once again before they have to go into the weekend when they go up to Rosemount to take on Rosemount on their home ice, and then they have their holiday tournament. But that we'll cover more on that here in just a little while later on down the road. But for right now, I mean, that's pretty much everything. I think we talked about everything here tonight that we could. They both squads played really well tonight, and they both tally a tie on their record. So Albert Lee, they have a 9-1-1 record, and now Northfield, they have a 6-4-1 record. And we do want to thank the 2024 Raider girls hockey team sponsor, Northfield Insurance Agency, for personalized insurance solutions and a trusted partner. Contact Northfield Insurance Agency today. Thank you, NIA, for supporting Raider girls hockey here on Northfield Live. And Cass, it was great calling the game with you here tonight. I hope to work with you later on down the road.
I'm hoping I'm back for a few more of these games. Now that we've got Faribault Live, I'm from Faribault.
Oh, okay.
I grew up playing at the Faribault Ice Arena. If anyone has ever heard me call any of those games, I talk about the Otis Spunkmeyer cookies, which we do not have here in Northfield. Otis Spunkmeyer, if you hear this, please sponsor us. But no, I love coming over to Northfield. I love watching the hockey, and especially in a rink like this with so much history.
Yeah.
Hope to be back over here soon.
All right. Well, Thursday here on Northfield Live, we have another doubleheader with Raider girls hockey taking on Mankato East, like I mentioned, from St. Olaf. That game starts at 7:15, and the Raider girls basketball, they host Red Wing. That begins at 7:30. Catch all the action right here on Northfield Live.